on, girl, let's scream.
I am a god.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. This is the part where you run.
Come on, scream.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Scream, a podcast where we dive into our favorite horror movies. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Parker.
And today we are looking at 2005's House of Wax, directed by Juan Colette Serra.
Join us as we journey to the House of Wax and learn all about
Michael Jackson!
It's Michael Jackson!
Guys, Michael Jackson!
Girl, you ready to
I'm ready to hee girl. Come on, girl.
Let's scream.
Okay, so we're looking at the House of Wax with Paris Hilton, the remake. From
And
2005, yeah.
she is the best part of this movie, I think.
Well,
but she's also...
She is, definitely. But it's still not good.
It's still not a good movie. This is a... And I would like to say, I know I am known for saying that movies on this podcast, a lot of them, not a lot of them, I shouldn't say a lot of them, but
No.
famously I say they're poorly paced.
Yes.
I would like to say for this one, before I watched it, Parker said to me, oh, I watched House of Wax. It's way too long.
Yep. That's
And
how
so
you know.
I would like to say, I am not the one who said this movie has horrible pacing. It does, but I am not...
True.
I'm not the only one who feels that way, and that's not my only critique of this movie, truly, because I don't think that's the worst part of this movie. I think there's some choices throughout this movie. The script. I mean, truly, the worst part of this movie is the script.
This movie has so much potential, but you're right. It's that script.
I like I think the director did great. I think the horror is really great. Like, the kills are fun, and the special effects are great. It's just the dialogue, some of the acting
awful.
Is just horrible, especially the main girl.
The main girl.
She can't deliver a line to save her life.
What else was she in? We've looked it up.
It was some good romantic comedy. I don't give a crap.
Oh my god, yeah. The Girl Next Door.
Which I don't know crap about.
She was
that
like,
movie.
I'm the hot girl. And that
my
movie.
Early 2000s rom-com is like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Mm-hmm, that's a great one.
Or like, I like the more like Lindsay Lohan ones.
Lindsay, yeah.
But like, I wasn't watching that girl. Who's this girl?
No, I don't even give a fuck.
And she hasn't really done anything since. So.
Sorry to this actress.
But if I saw her walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
I wouldn't know a thing. It was a lot of like fake laughing, like.
So there are some fun facts I do know about this movie.
Okay.
And one of them is the big promotion for this movie was Paris Hilton dies. They did like
Paris
a whole
right?
campaign of like her going around, like being like, yeah, I was really scared when I died.
I was so scared when I died.
And it's really good. It's really funny. I think that was like a genius marketing because it was also at a time with like Paris Hilton where you either loved her or you hated her and it was cool to hate her. Which like, a lot of celebrities go through that kind of bullshit, which like not justifying it, but she played into it, which I think is fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we can't talk about this movie without really talking about Paris Hilton, I feel like, because The Simple Life was such a moment.
Yes.
Her and Nicole Richie. It's one of our favorite shows.
Such a good show. We got away with it. As usual.
As usual.
We got away with it, as usual.
Pull up, it's Sonic, bitch. Welcome to Sonic.
So good.
Thanks, bitch. Have a great day.
And then we also get the one actor, he's best known for Supernatural, but I know him from Gilmore Girls. He plays Dean in Gilmore Girls.
Mm-hmm. Wade, I think is his character's name.
Yes, his character.
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name, and I feel really bad.
Well, in this movie, it's hard to recognize him because he's got a bad haircut.
He has like a Beatles haircut, and but that was also kind of like the style.
It was very, yes, you're so right. Yeah.
And but it doesn't look good on him. He looks better with long hair.
Yeah.
With just like long, straighter hair.
Yeah.
Not these like bang moments he has going on.
Totally agree.
Chad Michael Murray's in it.
I like Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah, he doesn't have a romantic partner in this movie because there's no underage girls in it. So.
Glock it.
Did I stutter?
Glock it.
So
he
he
always plays like, his, is it something like his
He
roles
always
are
plays older, but then there was a time, it was weird where like the girls in movies would cast young girls.
Yeah.
Like they would cast like age appropriate girls. Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff were both love interests of Chad Michael Murray in movies before they were legal.
That's very weird and very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, like, Hollywood's the wild, wild west sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
The three standouts cast, like, it has a good cast, like, because, I mean, Paris Hilton, like, obviously an actress, but
Yeah.
fun to have her. And then having the guy who's playing Wade, and I have to look that actor's name up. And then having Chad Michael Murray. So it's like, they have names behind this movie. It's just, this movie was such a, it feels like a cash grab. But like,
grab.
it's such a, it's
I
during
like the director. The director directed Orphan. Bitch.
Yes.
And I think that when given a good script, he does a great job.
We also haven't even mentioned, this is a remake, but it's not at all like the original House of Wax.
Yeah. Where's Miss Kitty, by the way?
I think she went into her litter box.
Oh, good. She's eating her potty.
Oh, yeah, Parker got the cat.
Oh, yeah. I got a cat. Miss Kitty's here. She's
Miss
chilling
Kitty.
in the room with us.
She's a black cat, very spooky.
Yeah, she's spooky.
You should make her
Kitty
go
vibes.
as a witch for Halloween.
Oh, she'd be so cute.
Get her
as
a little cape
witch.
and a little witch hat.
That's such a good idea. She could be Elphaba.
You could also one year make her be like Luna from Sailor Moon. I don't know how you would do the little crescent moon
Oh
on
my
her forehead.
god.
But
Well, Maddie Barillo, who was just on this podcast last week, she has a cat named Luna, and it's a black cat, like Sailor Moon.
Hell yes.
Yeah. So her and I are kindred spirits in that way. But yeah, joining us today is special guest Miss Kitty. Everyone welcome Miss Kitty.
it's Jared Padalecki. That's who plays Wade.
Right.
Best known for being in Supernatural and Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls, right. I forgot that. Did you ever watch Gilmore Girls?
Kian made me try to go through it. I think we got halfway through, and I was like, Kian, I can't.
That's a show where like it's all brown-haired women. They're all talk like this, like really fast, like da da da.
Yeah.
Da.
And Rory is just such an unbearable character that I was like, Kian, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't care how this ends.
Yeah, I tried watching it like one time. I remember, and I was like,
It's
But a lot of people love Gilmore Girls.
a lot of white girls love Gilmore Girls.
It's like the Taylor Swift of TV shows.
It really kind of is.
Yeah. What I wanted to say about House of Wax, though, getting back to it, was that House of Wax was a really cool special effects showcase. I feel like that's something.
Yeah.
That's something I'll give it.
That's why, like I said, the kills and the effects in this, I think, are all really well done.
Really cool practical effects going on. I mean, the big like standout is this House of Wax.
The set
literally.
is really great.
And didn't you say something about how you saw there was a fire?
That was the second thing I wanted to talk about. Towards the end of the movie, there's a big fire. The fire actually like broke out on the set.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure like they had to like redo shooting and they like really cut into
Damn.
budget.
Well, they do a great job with it then. I mean, good
And they
for
might have
them.
even used like actual clips from the fire.
Wow. I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
There's one shot that looks really superimposed, and I'll get to that because
yeah.
I watched this with my sister Brooke, both in high school for the first time, and then we rewatched it last week for this pod.
Yeah.
And she noted that how bad the CGI looks when like the House of Wax is like being destroyed at the end, the exterior shots of it. But a lot of the like interior, it really looks great.
I just pulled up an article, and this is from 2004 when it happened, the fire. 3 sets and some camera and sound equipment were burnt. It broke out in a sound stage, and then there were no injuries among the 50 or so crew members and cast, which is kind of amazing,
Yeah.
but like, damn,
They worked it out.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. Lives are at stake for this movie. Now, does the story actually have stakes? Let's find out. Are you ready to get into it, girl?
Yeah, I'm ready to get into this piece of crap.
I mean, clock it. You just clocked this movie's gag. Okay. So at this point going forward, we are going to be spoiling the entire plot of House of Wax with Paris Hilton.
Yep.
Which should have been the official title. Just tagline with Paris Hilton.
With Paris Hilton.
Are you ready to scream, girl?
Come on, girl.
Let's scream. Okay. So, House of Wax begins in this weird intro. It's 1974, and there's this crazy kid. We don't really see... It's all out of, like, frame. Like,
And like we see a woman making like a wax
wax figure. She's the mom, and she's trying to tie him down to this high chair. Meanwhile, his brother, who again, we never see anyone's face, but his brother's like all calm, and she's like, I wish your brother could be more like you. And then they're like strapping this kid down with duct tape, and his wrists are bleeding.
Yeah.
And then she slaps him. That was wild, but also kind of like,
This
okay,
was
what the fuck?
also such a cliche in so many like remake horror movies of doing like, oh, we're gonna show the killers when they were kids
Yeah.
before everything happened. Because I know the Black Christmas remake does it.
Michael Myers.
The Michael Myers.
The Rob Zombie
The Rob
ones.
Zombies does it. Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why this one also feels like such a cash grab, because it's like, not only is it a remake of like one of the most like truly obscure horror movies, like the original House of Wax, like, come on. Nobody is sitting down being like, that's such a classic.
Oh, right. Well, I think it's a remake of a remake. I think it's a remake of like a foreign film from the
Probably
the time.
is.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole opening sequence, I was like,
Okay, what the fuck? Very generic for the time.
that's the other thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
one's well behaved and one's not. Okay.
Okay, yeah. But like kind of fun, I guess. You're kind of like, at least by the end of it, you're like, okay.
Okay.
And I kind
Whatever
of like,
that means.
Right, and I kind of like a movie that kind of leaves me going, okay, whatever that means.
Okay. Whatever that means.
We meet Paris. Like, we're jumping towards modern times right now. It's 2005.
Yeah, they don't tell us. They don't even. I don't even think it says present day.
No, it's just like here. Paris Hilton.
Not 1970s anymore.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah. She shows up. She's at the diner with her friend Carly, who is our final girl in this movie. We learn that they are going to a football game. It's the big game of the year. I don't think we know if this is for high school or college. Or what is it, college? Is that what it is?
We don't know.
I don't know either.
We
Okay.
truly don't.
They don't tell
know,
us.
and I'm also so confused.
They're talking about moving to New York or something. I don't know. What I noticed about in this scene is Paris isn't good at dialogue.
No.
But I will say I like Paris later in this movie, and I'll talk about why when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's no Meryl Streep.
No, not at all. And also, usually this is the scene where they're supposed to make you kind of like the characters and want to feel for them. I never care for a single one of
Well,
these
because we don't really know anything about them. Like, they're so generic.
It's just like, are we in college? Or what's your major? What's your ambitions? What are your goals? What are you trying to do? But like, none of them have backstory. I don't think any of them
Not
even
really.
care what their backstory is.
And we then learn that Carly's brother Nick is played by Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
Is tagging along, even though he's a bad boy. He wears
Because
a
he
leather
wears a hoodie.
jacket. Oh, is it? You're right. It's a hoodie.
It's a zip-up hoodie.
He's
It's
such
black.
a bad boy in his hoodie.
And he has a shaved head now.
Yeah.
He's a buzz cut. Because he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck. And their pervy friend Dalton is also coming.
And he has a camera.
He's always recording everyone with a camera. And it's the guy, it's Bobby from Scary Movie 1. Mm-hmm. The, like, Billy parody character. The guy who played him.
It's that actor. Yeah. So, another standout actor, actually.
Right, okay. And also Paris's boyfriend. I don't remember Paris's character's name, do you?
Girl, I don't remember anyone's name. Except for Wade.
Right, I'm like, Wade and Paris Hilton. That's all I can remember.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
We need to get these names. This is bad,
I
girl.
know, I'm sorry.
Okay. I will look them up and we will go through every character's name. So the twins are Carly, who's played by Alicia Cuthbert, the worst
Right.
in this movie. Sorry,
Yeah,
girl.
sorry, girl.
And then Chad Michael Murray plays Nick. So we have Carly and Nick. Paris is Paige. Easy.
Paige, okay.
And then Blake is
Blake.
Paris's
Blake,
boyfriend.
thank you.
Is Paige's boyfriend. But if we're going to be referring to her as Paris, I just can't not do that.
It's Paris.
It's Paris. Paige, like, they didn't give a shit.
They didn't give a fuck about this one. Okay.
Anyway, she's, like, telling... Is this when she tells Carly, she's like, I might be pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell him.
Yeah.
This had no, like, it literally did not go anywhere. I was like, okay.
No, but we get... It's like, seriously. I guess it's supposed to be your, like, sympathy for her to be like, oh, she's pregnant.
So they're going to this football game, and they're on the highway, and they're trucks are like passing each other.
The road is closed, so they have to do a detour, and they're like, okay, whatever. And
Oh,
while
right.
they're doing this like detour on this like back road, they pull up next to each other, and Paige and Blake are in one car, and they look over. It looks like Paris is giving him a blowjob.
Roadhead, right?
And they're all
goes,
like,
I was just looking for my lip
lip
balm.
gloss. And she puts it up. And it's like, bitch, what? What's she doing?
She was giving him head,
was
whatever.
giving him head.
Yeah, come on now.
No, guys, I was not.
This isn't a night in Paris.
I'm a good girl.
I'm being good right now.
So then they decide to just pull over and camp out for the night because like it's just so late. Like, this isn't worth it.
And we learned that Chad Michael Murray stole a car and got caught because he's a bad boy.
Yes.
So there's like tension, and that's kind of why everyone's not vibing with him on this trip. They get to this like campsite place, like you said, and they smell some shit in the woods. They're like, what is that poop smell? Like,
Yeah, like horrible smell.
they're like, ooh, y'all smell that?
I'm like, why would you not leave at that point?
These woods smelled like shit. These woods smelled like a toilet
Straight
full
up
of
shit,
nasty
nasty
ass shit.
Her breath smelled like straight up shit. It smelled like a toilet full of nasty ass shit, okay?
We just get kind of a scene of them like hanging out. They dress Dalton up and they're making like gay jokes about him looking like Elton John. Like, you look gayer than Elton John. Da, da, da. Really ages this movie, I feel like.
Yeah.
This like kind of 2005 humor. We get a creepy scene where this truck pulls up.
Has their fucking high beam.
I thought this was kind of spooky.
Yeah.
And just kind of like is staring at them, and they're like,
Hello, can we help you? Like, I think Carly suggests, oh, maybe we're trespassing. And Wade goes, we didn't pass a gate. Bitch, that doesn't mean you're not trespassing.
right. That's what I thought. I was like,
It's
they're
like,
not at
it
a
could still be
campsite,
private
like-
property.
Yeah,
This could be
what are you
somebody's land.
thinking? That's
Like
kind
farm.
Of, yeah, that was totally on my mind.
Because
too.
I would, and then at this point, fucking Nick, Chad Michael Murray, takes a bottle and throws it and
Throws it.
smashes one of the headlights, which
Yes.
perfect aim. Like, Jesus Christ.
I know
but,
that was like,
but it's
I was
like-
he's cool.
Oh my God. Wow.
Do you think that was an homage to him on One Tree Hill, which was that show about him being a basketball player? I'm wondering that now that I think about it.
I didn't know he was in One Tree Hill.
Yes, he's like one of the main guys. In
Oh,
that.
well, maybe. I don't really give a shit.
He gets his headlight smashed and he leaves. So they're like,
And
spooked.
this, at the point, I would have been like, can we leave? But nope, nobody suggested
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, get in the car and leave.
Yeah.
Bitch.
But nope, they're all like, let's get to sleep.
Yeah, they just are in their tents.
And then we
Whatever. This POV.
get POV
Yeah.
shot of somebody recording through Dalton's camera, video camera.
Yes.
They do this occasionally, and I'm like, okay.
Well, it's supposed to spook you out because it's like, oh, it's Dalton. But then
Then you see Dalton
he's
sleeping.
sleeping. So someone else has the camera. And we never see who. Which that is kind of creepy.
Yeah. And Carly wakes up, she hears something.
And she gets jump scared by Wade. He's like, babe, what are you doing? It's like,
I thought I heard something. What are you doing? He's like, I'm bringing you back to bed.
ooh, I have a skater cut. I wear horizontal stripes. He looks like, I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. That's very Wade's vibe.
And then they wake up. It's the middle of the day. It's like 2 o'clock.
Okay,
They
somehow,
understand.
I don't know if you've ever slept in a tent or like gone camping or anything, but like the sun beats the fuck down at you pretty much right when it rises, and it becomes incredibly hot in a tent, and you have to get out. Like, you would not sleep until 2:30 in the woods
In a tent.
in a tent. That just wouldn't happen. They're like, oh, we overslept. Bitch,
How?
How? Also, you have your flip phone set an alarm. I remember the days where you could set an alarm for the flip phone. Okay. So they're like, we have to get to this football game, but they notice that the truck is missing a fan belt.
Yes, Wade's truck.
So they're like, some of us need to stay here with the truck and try and like, maybe there's a town up ahead. We can get some help for this truck.
Yeah.
And then the others are like, well, fuck you. We're going to go to this football game. So
Yeah.
they ditch them and go to the game. We later see that there's all this backed up traffic. And so they're going to miss the game
Well,
anyway.
before this, while they're like figuring out this with the belt, the girls are going to the bathroom. They smell the like shit again. And Carly's like, let's go after it. And Paige is like, yeah, that's a good idea. Go after the horrible smell.
Smell, yeah.
And this is when Carly slips into a pit and it's a bunch of dead carcasses.
Ugh.
Like animal carcasses, like roadkill.
It's Hadley from Dance Moms. It's
Roadkill.
roadkill. You're not roadkill, baby.
She sees like a hand sticking out.
You're not roadkill, baby.
And so she's freaking out. All the guys come and they like get her. And then this guy pulls up in a truck.
I hated this guy.
Some hillbilly.
Some hick.
And he's like,
Redneck.
he's just throws roadkill. Like that's what he does.
That's his job.
He's the roadkill guy.
Dumper.
And this is where he dumps it.
And then he shows them like, it's not roadkill, baby.
It's not a real hand.
The hand-
It was like a fake
yeah.
hand. He's like, I found that on the side of the road the other day.
It's made of wax. Mm-hmm. So he offers to take them into town in his truck.
Yeah. Because Carly wants to stay with Wade while the other four go to the game.
To the game. So they go with him, and he has all these, like, roadkill. He has all these Hadleys hanging up in his car, because they're
Yeah.
roadkill.
Yeah.
And he also has this Bowie knife, like, strapped to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, you like knives? And he's being creepy. It kind of reminds me of, I was thinking this too, this movie is kind of like a bad take on the Texas Chainsaw family. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he's kind of giving Hitchhiker, but like way not as good.
Yeah.
Way more generic than the Hitchhiker from that movie.
Yeah.
And then Vincent is obviously Leatherface, which we'll get to him here in a minute. And Bo is the other one, the brother.
Yep.
Yep. So you can definitely see that influence here. So they're sketched out by this guy, and they ask him to just pull over. Like, we'll get out, and we'll just walk on foot from here. And he gets offended. Like, try to do something nice for people.
Yeah. And they're like, and then you do kind of feel bad because they walk, and as soon as they turn the corner, there's the town.
And it's
so
just
they're like, damn,
little...
I feel like a jackass. That's what Wade said.
Yeah. This town is cool. It's, I think, on all practical set.
Yeah.
It seems to
it's
be.
so cute. Like,
it reminds me of Radiator Springs from Cars.
Yes, it's very much that, like,
but spooky.
Kind of like untouched by time.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's just from the 1950s, but still, like, very well kept. And, like, it's very cute.
The movie theater is playing Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Go listen to our Whatever Happened to Baby Jane episode. One of our favorites.
That's one of my top favorite horror movies ever.
So good.
Betty
so good.
Davis. Honestly, we'll get to it, but I'll just say it now. There's a scene where they play a clip from that movie, and it's like, why am I not just watching Baby Jane?
Damn.
I mean, that movie's so much better. But
they go to the gas station, and it's closed. Well, there's no one there. There's no sign that says it's closed, but there's literally no one there. And at that point, I'm like, let's just steal the belt and leave.
Come on now. And then also, there's this window that keeps being drawn open. There's a woman watching, like, from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And it's very, you know what it reminded me of? In Disney World, the Snow White ride.
Yeah.
Where you're waiting in line for that ride outside, and you can see the evil queen, like, in the tower in front of it, and she keeps, like, pulling open the drapes, and it's this cool animatronic.
Yeah. So there is, like, sign of life. Apparently.
Yeah, it seems, they're like, where the fuck is everybody? Is this town abandoned? And they see a church, and they hear music coming from it. So they go inside to see if anyone's there, and they walk in on a funeral. We see there's a pastor there. We see him very briefly, and then there's someone kneeling before a casket, and there's people in attendance, and you can hear people, like, murmuring and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, sorry, like, we'll just go. And then eventually this guy comes out. His name is Bo, and he is at first, like, shitty with them because he's like, who walks in on a funeral like that? Which there's not a sign that says funeral in
we didn't know.
process or whatever the fuck. So, okay, he's kind of an ass. But then he comes back out and is like, hey, sorry, I'm all torn up because I just lost somebody who's really special to me.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be an asshole. So you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But he's definitely, like, weird, right? But he reminds me of the brother in Texas Chainsaw, the oldest brother.
Yes.
Because at first you're like, oh, he seems, you know, like a normal guy. He's kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, okay, like, and he is clearly flirting with her, too. And Wade kind of, like, negs her because Bo was attracted to her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have no control over who finds me attractive.
Yeah.
The fuck? I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
All these characters are annoying.
Yeah, they're just not likable. Like, you just don't really feel anything when anything happens to them.
So Bo decides that he is gonna help them get a fan belt. He'll show them like where one is.
Yeah.
Because he owns the gas station.
Yeah.
So he can let them in after this funeral takes place. So they're waiting around. They say, why don't we go to the Wax Museum? Which apparently this town is
Yeah,
famous
because like
for.
Wade is apparently into that. They like talk about it earlier because they see a sign for the Wax Museum.
Yeah, Trudy's Museum of Wax, I think.
Yeah.
And it's completely made of wax.
wax.
Like the entire building, everything is wax.
Yeah.
Which immediately I feel like you have to start suspending your disbelief. Because it's like, wouldn't this shit just like melt over time?
Especially like they're not in like a cold climate, clearly.
No.
It's like-
they're in Florida. That's where this takes place.
Does it seriously?
In Florida. I'm not even kidding.
Bitch, yeah, that would melt.
They all have Florida license plates.
Oh, bitch, yeah, that would melt.
Melt. Duh. But anyway, you know what? I'm going to go with it. It's fine. Whatever. The movie's called House of Wax.
Yeah,
Like,
so you know they committed.
They committed. While they're looking around, they notice that all of the wax figures have, first of all, like, not smiling faces, but more like perplexed faces.
Yeah.
Kind of scared faces.
Yeah.
And also, none of them are celebrities. They don't recognize any of these figures. And normally, in wax, you think of like Madame Tussauds.
Yeah.
Where it's all like, you know, Lady Gaga, wax Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a wax Michael Jackson in a minute. Sorry.
Yes.
Not to give away any spoilers.
Miss Kitty.
Oh, hi, Kitty. What are you doing? Oh, who is it? Is it your new roommate, Travis?
What's up, Trap Daddy?
Hey, Travis. Hi. We're talking about House of Wax. We're doing a podcast right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
But do you just want to hang for a second while
yeah,
we record?
Yeah.
We can have an audience member.
Yeah. We are now joined by Travis.
Yeah. Welcome to the pod. Hello. Special guest, Travis, my roommate. So,
And Miss Kitty.
Can't forget the special
of
guest
course.
of honor.
Yeah. Oh, we already introduced her. Yeah. She had her moment. So they're in this house of wax. They also notice that a lot of the pieces are signed. They have the signature of Vincent.
Yes.
She's like, who's Vincent? Da, 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 da. I thought it was Trudy, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the name. So she's looking in this mirror. She like wipes the dust off of it. And then this was really good jump scare. In the reflection behind her, she can see the window. And we see Michael Jackson! He looks like Michael Jackson. The killer in this movie.
He looks like Michael Jackson. The mask.
He's got this like really pale white mask that is kind of like featureless and long black hair. And he's wearing like an outfit that is not dissimilar
That's Michael
to something
Jackson.
Michael Jackson would wear, even though it's like not as, you know, yassified as something
Yes.
that Michael would wear.
I'm kind of sad I missed it.
Right? Yeah, we should watch this one at some point. It has Paris Hilton in it.
Ooh.
Yes.
So Carly freaks out, and Wade decides to go and look, and leaves Carly alone.
And it's this kitchen, and it looks just like the kitchen from the intro of this movie.
And she does notice a high chair that says Vincent, and there's another one next to it, but it's kind of like in the shade.
Yeah,
You can't really see.
it's hard to
this one.
tell what name it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
you pay close attention, you can't see the name.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it, but both you and Keaton saw it when we watched it. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't even notice
If
that.
you're like really paying attention, you'll see it.
Because I basically clocked this whole movie. Like all the twists. When we were watching it, I was like, this is what I think it is. This is what I think.
Yeah.
So,
Because it's so generic that like it's predictable.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So then Wade jump scares her by knocking on the window, and so she bumps into a wax figure, knocks it over, and it completely like shatters.
it. Yeah.
Which, ooh.
Yikes. Vincent's not going to be happy about this. It's, you know what this reminded me of? The episode of That's So Raven when Raven breaks Chelsea's bird sculpture.
Yes, it was
She has to
literally
dress up
that.
as Bird
Oh my
Raven.
god, wait, that would have been a much better plot.
Maybe that episode was just like an homage to
House of Wax.
Also, Cyndi Lauper's in that episode.
Yes.
Cyndi Lauper's the art teacher.
Yes. She runs out, Wade like gets her, and she's like, I want to leave. Like, I'm ready to leave. Like, we need to get out of here.
And Beau shows up and he brings him to the gas station. But we see that it doesn't have the right size fan belt that they need. It has all the other sizes, but not the one that they need. But he says, there's a fan belt at my house. I can drive you there.
Because I get everything delivered to my house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Beau explains that Trudy was the main artist and Vincent was one of her sons and like a protege.
Yes.
Apparently, the dad was a doctor who got his license revoked. Hey, Travis, can you not play with those while we're recording?
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Is she showing interest in them, though?
Yeah, that's why I was doing it.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe she'll start playing with it. But yeah, just while we're recording, you'll be able to hear it in the background.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
It's
You're
okay.
totally fine.
Just go back to we learned about Trudy.
Beau explains that Trudy was the main artist and Vincent was one of her sons.
That was her.
That was her.
That was her.
She likes it. That might be her new favorite toy. That's one that Keaton gave me from his Oh, bitch. Oh, she is transfixed. Oh, what a good girl. Oh, she played all morning with the wand. She loves the wand, yeah. I have two. I'll show you where they are. She only likes the worm-looking one, not the bird one, though. Oh.
She's figuring out you can do it on all the layers now.
Oh, she loves it. Oh,
It's just like how she stops and the goes.
Yeah.
Like real quick.
Oh, I want to keep this in. We're recording memories here.
Yeah, you can keep this in. We'll describe it. So it's like this little 3-tiered tower, and on each tier are some balls that you can she can hit them, and then they will just go around it. And she just keeps hitting all the balls on the different tiers. It's very cute.
I was kind of showing her how to do it.
Aww. I wish we didn't have to record this fucking podcast right now.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine. We can get through it. This movie's not going to take much longer.
No, because this is a movie that 2 hours long should have been an hour
Should
and a half.
not- did
and I
not
think
need
that
to
would
be.
have really helped it. If you're going to be this generic of a movie, you don't need this much exposition.
So Beau explains that Trudy was the main artist and Vincent was one of her sons, or like her protege.
Yes.
Apparently, the dad was a doctor who got his license revoked for doing sketchy procedures, like on the lowdown.
side.
Yeah. And he moved the family out here from the big city. Trudy developed a cyst in her brain following the success of the Wax Museum.
Yeah.
And she went crazy and had a very painful death. And apparently she screamed for hours and the whole town could hear her and shit like that.
And then the dad ended up shooting himself.
Yep.
And so then the boys got put into foster.
care.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So they get to Beau's house and Wade goes to use the bathroom. And he's wandering around the upstairs, which, of course he is. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
This movie's so yep, that's a cliche, that's a cliche, that's a cliche.
Yeah.
And he discovers this weird office that must have belonged to the dad, I feel like. And it has a cow fetus in a jar. I think that was just to be bleh. It's weird. Yeah.
It kind of keeps giving you the expectation of oh, he's just gonna get hit behind the head at a point.
Yes.
That's how this whole scene feels to me. Is it's just setting you up to be ooh, something's gonna happen. When's it gonna happen?
Yeah, yeah. And then we see Carly, meanwhile, is outside waiting, and she notices
that the headlight is out on the truck. That Beau was the guy at the campsite.
It was Beau in the truck earlier.
And so she starts leaning on the horn,
trying to get Wade's attention.
And the power gets cut.
And we see upstairs Michael Jackson pops out of the trapdoor. He's
and he cuts Wade's Achilles
tendon. With scissors, big lawn scissors.
Yes.
That it has to be the most painful thing. Apparently your Achilles tendon, if you fuck that up. Yeah.
Yes, that's I'm with Travis right now. It's talking about that. I can feel it right now.
Yes. So that was a really great gore scene, I thought. And then we're in the
he's in
age
the
of
dark
Saw.
and he's trying to figure out what's going on and like see where.
Yeah, because the lights just turned off all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then Michael Jackson like stomps his face.
Yes.
And he is knocked out.
Yeah.
The other friends have returned from trying to get to the game.
But they gave up because traffic was too bad.
And Carly tries to call them, but they don't answer because they're busy like being early 2000s people.
Yeah.
Carly tries to escape from Bo, and he chases her around the truck. Because at this point, he's like, okay, I'm found out.
Yeah.
And this was a really tense chase scene. And then she drops her phone, like in the front seat, we see. She's able to get the car on, and she swerves away from him, but the truck gets stuck.
Yeah,
It's
where like one of the wheels is like hanging off a ledge, so
ledge.
the car can't get any traction.
And so she just has to get out of the truck, and he's chasing her, and she runs into the town.
Yep.
We then get the scene of Michael Jackson. He's turning Wade into a wax figure.
Yes, this is the
best
scariest scene. It's the best scene.
This is so
and yeah, he's like patching him up. He's sewing up all of his wounds. He waxes his whole face.
The whole hair on his whole body, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh damn, he had to do his dick too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, and butt hairs.
And booty hairs.
Booty hairs.
Yep.
They didn't show that though, Travis.
No, we don't see that, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And then he gets put into this contraption, and it looks like he's gonna get like all of his like eyes stabbed out.
It reminded me of the traps from Saw.
Yeah.
Like the bear trap.
Yes, it kind of looks like an Iron Maiden kind of contraption.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very cool. And then he gets sprayed with a bunch of
wax, bitch. Yeah. And he was given like some kind of sedative or something.
Yes, because he's
right?
just like the whole time, he cannot move, but he's whimpering.
paralyzed. Oh, that was so sad and so scary.
Yeah.
And while Carly's walking through the town, all of the lights start coming on, and we realize that it's a fake town.
Yes.
She runs into the church, and we see everyone from before were wax figures. And she even bumps into one, and its arm breaks off, and we can see that there's flesh underneath.
Yes, that was a person.
There was a person in there. Yeah, so she realizes that too. Oh, and the sounds from earlier, like the ambient sounds and people talking, were coming from a speaker.
Yeah. But I thought it was also kind of, I did think this was good because it's kind of creepy because it also makes you think, are some of these people still alive and they're actually whimpering right now, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
There are things I really like about this
Yeah,
movie.
the direction is pretty good for such a bad script.
It's the script.
The script. And also, in the casket lies Trudy's
body,
like mummified
immortalized
corpse
in wax.
In the wax. Yep. Bo enters, and she hides under the pastor figure's robes, but he finds her.
Yep.
There's a lot, okay.
There's a lot of, I'm hiding.
This movie has the most dragged out hiding from the killer scenes I have ever seen.
Yes.
That's what really bogs this down.
Yes.
So that's like kind of the first instance. It's like, okay, just show. So maybe the directing isn't that great. I don't know.
There's some choices, maybe.
There's some choices. He ultimately captures her, and he takes her to the basement
Of the gas station.
Of the gas station, and he ties her to a chair, and he uses super glue
to close her
to
mouth.
seal her mouth shut. Yeah, that was always scary. But it was also like, would that even work? Can you really? Well, I guess
You can, yeah.
You know what I'm thinking of? That woman who sprayed Gorilla Glue on her hair.
Yep.
So maybe like a really powerful adhesive like that really could fuck you up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Meanwhile, Nick and Dalton, this is Chad Michael Murray and Bobby from Scary Movie, show up to look for them because they're at this point they're like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
They hear her squeals. And Bo comes up. Dalton's like, okay, I'm going to go check out the wax museum. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe they're just splitting up. So it's just Chad Michael Murray there. And Bo's talking to Chad Michael Murray, and he's hearing this whimper. And he's like, what is that? And Bo's like, oh, that's just my dog. And then Carly is poking her fingers
Through a grate.
And Bo
sees it, and he leans down, like pretending to tie a shoe, and he cuts off one of her fingers.
fingers.
Like the tip.
Good gore.
Yep.
Scary. So she like uses the remaining fingers she has
Like the blood.
to like force her mouth open.
Because like basically, so blood has enzymes in it, and enzymes help to break down minerals and like bacteria and like can break down substances, including like a glue substance. So I actually do really like this, that the enzymes from the blood would break down the glue.
Okay, Bill Nye.
Well, I work because I'm in skincare and we use enzymes for exfoliating. From papayas, not from blood. But you can do, like, if you've ever heard of vampire facials, they actually take your blood and then they use the way, there's like a way to separate like the plasma or something from the blood. And like basically there's a part of your blood that's actually really good for your skin and helps boost collagen production.
Wow.
So does it actually work?
Yep, they, like her lips get
she unseals her mouth
to get her mouth open. And so she screams for help.
So this alerts Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
He is then attacked by Bo almost immediately before he can even process.
Yeah.
So he starts chasing him, and Chad Michael Murray is able to lock him out of the gas station.
Yes.
He goes down into the basement and rescues Carly. Meanwhile, Dalton has wandered off into the House of Wax, and he sees Wade sitting there at the piano, but it's Wax Wade.
And he's like, "Oh, buddy, let me get you out of there." His face starts falling off. His whole face.
And he keeps going at it.
And like, Wade's still alive, so like the tears are coming out. And then all of a sudden,
Horrific.
Michael Jackson shows up and like chops off half of Wade's mouth.
Yeah, but that was so fucked up.
And then
You
he
can see his teeth.
starts chasing Dalton through the house. And such a funny detail is Dalton starts throwing like plates at him. They're all made of wax.
Right.
Literally everything in the house is made of wax.
Right? There was wax all up and down the walls.
Well,
and it smelled so bad.
I can't sleep at night. One time I asked to use the restroom. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad.
And then he chases him down into the basement and
he chops his head off.
yeah, Dalton trips and
his eyes are still blinking.
Yeah.
Like the decapitated head's eyes.
Yeah.
That was spooky.
because they do say if you get decapitated, you can have like brain activity for a few minutes.
I know, what the hell?
Like, damn, Marie Antoinette. What a way to go.
She was thinking for a second. she was thinking about
She's
everything.
like, damn, I should have made that cake comment. Like,
That's what I was thinking.
She got canceled. Yeah.
first victim of cancel culture.
She was literally the first victim of cancel culture. I'm fucking dead.
Marie Antoinette. No, diva.
Diva
down.
Diva so down.
She just wanted to.
She was the original Diva down.
She was the original 365 party girl.
Right? Yeah, she was on coke, right?
She just wanted to have a good time.
She was on coke. I remember hearing that. Okay, so Nick and Carly go to get help from the lady in the window, but they see it's like an animatronic.
She's like rigged up.
pulley, and she's a wax figure.
I also started to think this is because I think this was a real town. Everyone got turned into wax figures, though.
Everyone there, yeah.
Yep, they probably killed the whole town.
Exactly. We are back in the campsite with Paris.
Yep.
Because she's in this movie. They have to remind
They have
us.
to remind you.
She's
I
barely-
think she had 2 days of shooting.
She must have, only been available for a little bit.
Because she's barely in this.
Barely. But she does get naked.
Yeah.
She goes strip. Well, not fully naked.
She
but
gets her boobs.
She does
She
a
gets,
strip
like,
tease into like a little bra,
her bra
and
and
panty
panties. And
set.
she's like, I have to talk to you.
This is my obligatory, I have to strip.
Strip scene to get
Be
boys to come see these
sexy.
movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, we have to talk.
Welcome to Sonic.
I have to talk to you. We really have to talk.
And somebody turns off their music. And so, what's the boyfriend's name again? Blake. He goes to turn the music back on because it just got paused.
Yes.
And then he finds Paige's phone and sees that they got a call from Carly. And he starts hearing the whole confrontation of Carly saying, hey, we found the guy from the campsite. I'm really scared. And then she kept the phone on throughout their
So
confrontation.
you can hear her getting attacked by
Yeah, and so
Bo.
he's like, oh shit.
Oh, shit.
And the next thing we see is just Paris being like,
Blake, where are you?
and then
Is that
somebody
you?
comes into the tent and she turns on the light.
Honey.
Michael Jackson! He jump scares the fuck out of her, and then she runs out.
And
She sees Blake's body, and he's
he
got a knife in his
neck.
throat.
But it's also off camera.
I know, but it did remind me of in Scream Queens when she's like, Shondell, there's
you
a knife in your throat!
And so she gets chased into a warehouse where I'm assuming all the victims, they keep all their stuff.
All their shit,
And
yeah.
then also stuff that just can be used as props for the town.
Yeah, so there's like cars and shit.
Which were probably victims' cars.
Victims' cars.
And so,
there's this whole Paris Hilton chase scene.
yes.
And
He,
you know
like,
what?
stabs her foot through a grate.
Through the grates, that was spooky. Yeah, and so she's like
It's a thing for feet.
This was right,
Dude.
foot fetish guy, Michael
fetish.
Jackson. But
This
I
is one
thought
of the
this
most
was the best.
This is the best
acting
scene
in the movie.
Yes, best scene. She does a great job.
Is she great at delivering dialogue? No, she is no Meryl Streep. But I think she had the most commitment in this whole movie.
When it came to like, because the one girl, Carly, there's some lines. I think it's right after she gets saved by Chad Montgomery. The delivery is just God.
It sounds like she's reading it off a cue card.
Paris was looking at a cue card.
She definitely was looking at her cue cards. She had a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paris could afford a teleprompter.
She could afford a teleprompter.
The one girl got cue cards. She like looks up through like a car window and he has like a spear thing and throws it and just goes right through her forehead.
Through her forehead.
And she was pregnant, so damn. Double homicide.
You just had an abortion? Twins?
Twins.
Yeah, double homicide.
Bitch.
No, I'm sorry.
Bitch.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That was fucked up. That was fucked up.
And then Vincent like records her.
Yes.
And we see her like brain chunks.
And then he like pushes her all the way down to get
like,
the spike out.
Yeah, get the spike thing off of him.
Spear. And then we go back to now. Is this when they went to Beau's house?
Well, first we see Nick. That's Chad Michael Murray's character. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I'll just call him Chad Michael Murray. He breaks into the armory store and he gets a crossbow.
Yes.
And then Beau shows up and starts shooting at them with a rifle. This is another one of my favorite scenes because they go into the theater and it's Baby Jane.
Yes, and they
playing.
like hide amongst the viewers.
And the scene that's playing, I've written a letter to Daddy. So
and this is
that's
where the
iconic.
big theme of siblings is like obviously what's going on.
Baby
Because
Jane
at this
is
point we
about
know
siblings.
Beau and Vincent are siblings.
Yep.
They're the twins from the beginning. And then we have Carly and Nick are twins. They were just kind of throwing around that term for those two. I think they might have been Irish twins.
They look nothing
Because
alike.
twins, I don't see it. Even
No.
though, like, obviously, like, boy, girl, like, they're going to be fraternal twins. Still, I don't see it.
Not at all. Not one bit.
Because Keaton and Raina are fraternal twins. But
You can tell.
They can still tell they're siblings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they look alike. Did you know the Olsen twins are not identical?
No.
They're fraternal twins. They just happen to look fucking alike.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they're hiding in the audience at the movie theater and pretending to be the wax figure.
And this is another drawn out hiding scene. This one I think is the most interesting. This is the most fun one. Because this is like, oh, this is like, you're going to get found at any moment.
And there's one wax figure that does kind of look like her. Has kind of the same hair.
Yeah. And you think he puts like a gun right to it.
But it's a wax figure.
It's just a full wax. That one was just a wax figure.
Straight up, yeah.
So that's the thing is like some of them are just wax figures, but some of them are like bodies.
Are like, yeah, mummies, basically. As soon as he clocks Miss Carly and he's about to shoot her,
she ducks.
And Chad Michael Murray fires the crossbow and shoots him once in the arm and once in the chest.
Yes.
And so he's knocked out, but instead of like, you know, killing him,
bashing his brains, and they're putting an arrow right through his fucking skull.
They just like leave and walk away. Like, again, this is why this movie is frustrating.
Yes.
It's so generic. It's
Yes.
every trope
of just stupid decisions and
hard to root for characters.
Hard to root for. I don't care about any of them.
So they go and they're looking for her phone, which she thinks is on the floor of the car.
Yes.
Beau's truck.
Yes.
So they go to that and they can't find it. So they decide to then go look into the house and see if they can find Wayne and Dalton. Before that, though, there's this weird moment where he's like leaning up against like a tree really close to her, and it looks like
they're about to kiss.
Siblings are about to fuck.
It's like so weird. It's some Life with Derek shit.
Very Life with Derek.
Like, the tension is too weird.
Oh my god, that show is crazy. It was a Disney Channel show about a bitch who wanted to basically fuck her stepbrother.
That's literally what it was.
Ugh.
They tried to play it off that it wasn't, but we all knew.
We all knew. So they go into the house, and while exploring, they find photos and articles revealing that Beau and Vincent were conjoined twins at birth.
And one of them was like, basically, their face was on the back of the other one's skull. Mm-hmm. So now we know why the one is wearing the mask.
A mask. Mm-hmm. Very Phantom of the Opera vibes, too. In this
and they were successfully separated.
And in that moment, Michael Jackson shows up. Hee. And Beau also enters, so they're both there. And he's pulling the arrows out of his arm and his chest.
Which, if you're punctured, you're not supposed to do that.
Not supposed to, right? And so Carly's hiding from them. We get another drawn out, like, oh, I'm hiding from the killer scene.
Yeah.
This is probably the most egregious one, I thought. We also hear, she's like listening in on their conversation. And basically the whole plan was to continue on their mother's work. But Vincent wasn't good at making the figures realistic, I guess.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, well, we'll just use people as a base, and it will help, like, the
make
figures
it even more real.
Yeah, real.
Make your work even more realistic.
And, like, Mom would be proud of us. And it's like, y'all are fucked up. Okay, don't try to rationalize.
This is what this is like the giveaway of like, oh, I think we know which one was the crazy one when they were kids. Beau finds the photo of the conjoined twins of when they were conjoined, so he knows that they're in the house.
Right.
So this is when he gets I'm going to start looking for them. And then they go to the basement, and they get to a part where it's dark, and they're like, oh, there's going to be a light switch here. They start flicking on all the lights, and it's...
And you see it controls the entire
city.
Town. Radiator Springs vibes.
Yes.
Spooky Radiator Springs. And so that alerts the killers as to where they are.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, they're at the fucking light switches in the basement.
Yeah.
We get this scene. This is so funny for some reason. I don't know why I laugh so hard.
Yeah, they wander into Vincent's
like crazy lab
where he does all the stuff. And I'm assuming some of the stuff that he has that he was able to do the procedures with were from his father when he was doing the shady procedures. Because I was like, how does he know to do all this sewing and this like stuff? And I was like, oh, duh.
That makes sense.
So they did a good connection with that.
Yeah.
And then they see Dalton is set up in
the like
waxing, covered in wax. He hasn't been sculpted yet.
And John Michael Murray is like, I'm gonna get you out of this. Don't worry, friend. And he starts to like grab the Dalton's like head and like trying to get him out, and then the head, which we saw him decapitated earlier,
fully pops off.
It just snaps off, and there's something about his face being like, oh.
He's like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
He like knew it was.
It's like.
Let me just.
He takes a really deep inhale, and that was so funny. Like, that shit cracked me up.
And it's like, damn, he thinks he did that, but no, dude, he was already dead.
Yeah,
like he got his head cut off already.
That shit was great. Vincent runs in, and then he's attacking them with swords, and they start a fire to get away from him.
Yeah.
The fire begins to engulf the entire wax building.
Yes.
And we get this huge showdown, including at one point, Beau just decks Carly right in the face.
Oh my God. Like fully punches her. I'm not going to lie. I kind of laughed because it was just like...
Not because he was punching a woman.
Because it was just so sudden.
It was like slapstick too.
It was like, it wasn't because I was like, oh, maybe slap her. He just fully decks her in the face.
And it was with like a like sound effect.
It was like...
It was great. Carly ends up overpowering Beau. And
she like starts pushing in one of the arrows
that
he didn't remove.
Smart, yeah.
And so it just gives him a shit ton of pain.
And then she's able to just like bash his brains in.
She has a bat and just bashes his head in. And then during that scuffle, Chad had gotten stabbed in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then while she's trying to help Chad, Michael Jackson shows back up and sees that Beau has been smashed.
Yeah, he's like right in front of my salad.
He's like, holy shit.
Are you kidding me?
And so he gets mad and chases Carly upstairs.
And meanwhile, the whole building is
getting engulfed in flames.
This
and
is a
just,
great
like
set
they're
piece.
struggling to like get through the wax.
This
it's
is
like
so
crazy.
Cool. I loved this whole. And
Yes.
I don't really necessarily like action sequences,
But this is a really cool.
But this one was well done. Yeah.
And then she goes into the bedroom, into one of the like master bedrooms, and there's like
sculpture of the conjoined babies,
the conjoined twins on
like in a crib.
A baby crib. I couldn't think of the word there. I don't know why. And she puts it in front of the door. I'm like, bitch, this place is made
It's
of wax.
wax.
And
So,
so
yeah.
he just puts his sword like right through the wax door and just like slices down like
And
butter.
he cuts like the wax babies apart.
Yeah.
So like
Symbolism.
so poetic. What was that even trying to say?
That's
though?
the thing. I don't even get what this whole thing is trying to
Yeah.
say with twins.
There's
and
like there's like the whole twins motif the entire movie, but it's like,
what does this mean?
So what? Like
yeah.
twins are twins. That's basically the
Yes.
whole like point of this.
Twins are
siblings.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're conjoined.
And then she says, she starts trying to tell Vincent, because this was when she's running through the house, she noticed, she looks at the high chairs and saw that Bose was the one that had the straps on it.
So he was the bad kid.
He was the crazy one. And so she's like, oh, Vincent, you're not crazy. He is. Like, he's the wild one.
But bitch, too late.
And then, how does his mask get knocked off?
I don't know, but his mask ends up getting knocked
And it's
off.
like Phantom of the Opera spooky.
It looked better than the Joel Schumacher one with, what's his name?
What I love is because after like hyping him, like, no, you're like good, like you can do this. As soon as she sees his face, she kind of gives a ooh. Like
because his face looked
and he
wild.
could tell that she was bothered by it, so because he gets mad at her,
right?
And then Chad shows up and is trying to save the day, and then he does like the same thing when he sees his face. He gives like a like a
don't make that face, right? So there's this whole other showdown, and Vincent is overpowered by them eventually.
Yeah. And
right?
Carly pulls the knife out of Chad and uses that to stab Vincent. And then he falls through the wax and falls on top of Bo's body.
Exactly the way that they were conjoined.
And then all the wax starts pouring over them. So they get embalmed, like in...
Yes.
Or what is it?
Wax.
In wax. Embalmed in wax. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Embalmed, yeah.
So, and it's exactly how they came into the world.
Like,
which is
wow, how poetic.
Poetic.
Yeah, for like the sake of being poetic.
And then this is where... Those are the worst effects, and this is awful.
This is when Brooke clocked it. She was like, "Oh, that's so CGI." Like they end up
ripping their
crawling
way
their
through
the
wax walls, and we see them coming out of like the logo of the House of Wax, like the sign, and it's just like so.
The CGI on the exterior.
It looks
looked
like
bad.
y'all remember Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It was giving Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Like where it's like, damn, that movie was just a green screen and some costumes
in
like,
a dream.
In a dream,
and
that's what this was.
And I ate this shit up. So anyway, our main characters are able to escape the House of Wax.
And the fire had notified police because it's the morning and there is every fucking police officer in the tri-state area there because it is packed. And
they saw the smoke.
The smoke. They're like, yeah, we didn't even know this place really existed anymore.
Right.
Like it's so off the map and off the radar.
That's spooky.
And
they also discover Dalton's camera that was left at scene of crime. So they're gonna see Paris's brain chunks when they go to watch that back. I guess.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, that's evidence. Because like Chad was like, that's my friend, and they're like, this is evidence. But he stole it back, and he's like, maybe there's some good memories on this. I'm like, yeah, Paris getting fucking speared to the head.
Yeah, shish kebab.
So if you want to see that, have fun. And then we learn there's a police officer. A police officer goes up to the chief or the sheriff and is like, so we just got a report. Turns out the Trudy and her husband, they had 3 kids, not 2. And then we see, as they're leaving in the ambulance, Carly looks out the window and we see the hick from
Roadkill Guy.
And so we can assume he's the one who would bring people to the town and start the whole process.
Yep. And so like there's still a guy out
there.
there.
So it's kind of doing like how, again, like you said, this is very much Texas Chainsaw, where it's like, oh, one family member survived, because it's like Leatherface survived at the end of Texas Chainsaw. So
it's still
this
gonna
one's
go
but
on.
I'm like, with this one, I'm like, but the one doing all the shit didn't survive. Like, I'm expected to believe that this guy's gonna take over or something.
Yeah.
Like this twist didn't really.
I think it's more so because he sees Carly as she's passing in the ambulance, right? So he waves at her, and I think it's just implying like, oh, is he gonna go after her now? Da 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 da. So I don't know. I think you're just supposed to made to feel uneasy,
But I don't get that vibe.
it's like one of those twists for the sake of having a twist. I feel like okay,
Yeah.
but whatever. It was kind of a spooky note to end the film on. I'm not mad at that twist.
Yeah.
Really.
It's just kind of like,
Okay, that's how I feel about the whole movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's the thing. If this movie were an hour and a half, I think it'd be very enjoyable.
Right. Well, how long is this podcast? Ours is a little less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm sure this synopsis is more entertaining than the fucking movie.
To be honest. Honestly, if I'm going to tell you, just look up the kills for this movie.
Travis, you don't need to see this one. You can sit this one out.
You just need to see Paige's death, Wade's death, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the good parts.
Or I guess when they find Dalton.
Now, however, next week we are going to do a movie that I think can be watched over and over again. It's going to be Mother's Day, right? So what better way to celebrate Mother's Day than to talk about the ultimate mother in horror?
Ma.
Well, we talked about Ma.
I know.
Besides Ma. And besides Mother from Barbarian. And besides Mother, the Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Yes, well, that one. Ooh.
We've talked about all of those. But now we're finally going to talk about Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Which I had never seen until a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's one of those classic horror movies that everyone always raves about. Like, it's in the pantheon of like just most agreed upon, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Movies. And
not even just like horror movie, just like movies.
Just movies, yeah. So I'm really excited because I absolutely fucking love Rosemary's Baby right now. I was obsessed with it like on the first watch. And I was like, wow, instantly like top 5 favorite horror movies.
Damn.
For sure.
Got me kind of like entranced when
Travis sat there and like watched it with me, and yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like the mystery and the directing is so good. The script is brilliant in that because it's basically a direct translation of the book that it's based off of.
And it aged really well.
It's aged like a fine wine. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, because you've never seen Rosemary's
No.
Baby, but you've seen Rosemary's Baby Shower from Drag Race.
Yes.
The Drag Race parody.
Yes.
We should do that episode for like a No Scream November or a TV Terrors. Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby. Which season is that from?
That was on the most recent All Stars. All Stars with Roxy Andrews. And
Okay.
Georges and all that.
Every season has Georges on it at this point.
You're right.
Girl, she's coming back.
Fair enough. Yeah. Everybody look forward to some Rosemary's Baby Shower, some Rosemary's Baby, because that's going to be like the exact opposite of this movie.
Good.
It's going to have a lot of layers to talk about. It'll probably be a longer episode because it has like symbolism and meanings, just really good filmmaking. So, yeah.
We'll do that.
Stay tuned for that. But that's kind of been this week. I really don't have much else to say on House of Wax.
No, I don't.
With Paris Hilton.
I just...
Go watch The Simple Life
Yeah.
if you're in the mood for
Paris
Hilton.
Hilton.
What's your favorite Simple Life episode?
The Sonic episode.
I mean, come on, yeah.
It's the best.
Club the Sonic bitch.
But I do love the episode where they ride the horse and Paris is like, how do I go fast? I want to make it go fast. And then she falls off and she goes, I went too fast.
Yeah.
And then she gets airlifted out.
Yeah.
Stop the music.
Okay, we're at a cookout.
Later in the day.
And we forgot to mention Stars Are Blind by Paris Hilton.
It is truly one of the greatest pop songs of all time. Lady Gaga also said this.
Right, and Lady Gaga agrees. Okay, bye. All right,
This is House of Wax.
This is House of Wax.
If you enjoyed it, watch more horror movies.
All right, well, that's all for this week's episode of Let's Scream. Thank you so much for joining us at the House of Wax, of course, with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Oh my God, Michael Jackson.
Oh my God, it's Michael Jackson.
Guys, Michael Jackson!
Please remember to follow the pod, like the pod, and leave a glowing review of the pod, of course. It helps us become more visible to a larger audience. And you can also send us movie requests for future episodes. After Rosemary's Baby, we don't really know what we're doing, so we'll appreciate any requests you have. And you can also follow the pod on all socials at Let's Scream Pod. You can follow me at Parker_Will_C on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Stevie Nash 95 on Instagram.
And until next time, this has been
Let's Scream. Bye.